not as concerned about Mike Williams as Dave and I are, for example. But why are you comfortable with him in round 4?
Why are you concerned about him?
I'm concerned about his inconsistencies and his ADOT. I think it matters for a player like him. If he's going to be more of a downfield threat, he's going to be up and down. In the beginning of the year, the first 5 games of the season, he was the number 2 wide receiver in fantasy, Mike Williams, and it coincided with a much lower ADOT, which was unusual for him. The rest of the season, he was outside the top 40. And I know that there were better. He was inconsistent, and his ADOT was higher. So I want to see a profile of Mike Williams. What was the quote that he was going to play the Michael Thomas role, right, going into the year? Because they're bringing in the Saints coach.
I believe he did that most of the first 5 weeks and a big portion of the second half of the season. I get so irritated when you say he was outside the top 40 after week 5.
He was.
Because on a per game basis, he was wide receiver 19 from week 10 through 18.
Yeah, but you're forgetting about
hurt his knee week 5, played through it. They said he wasn't right.
It could be it.
4 weeks later, after just an absolute abomination of a month, he was a number 2 wide receiver for the rest of the year.
Yeah, and he had 5 games in his last. He had 4 games in his last 6 with 63 or fewer yards, and 2 massive games with over 100 yards. And I just feel like he's going to be a little frustrating if he's still the downfield guy. That's my point. And I think fantasy managers will be a little annoyed by it. At the same time, he had one of the worst green zone conversion rates in the NFL. He probably could have had a 13 touchdown season if he had just caught the ball more. So I do see a lot to like about him. But you guys really like Mike Williams, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it. I think the touchdowns will certainly matter, and I think he'll catch more of those opportunities. But the contract that they gave him, I think, speaks to what they think of him. The quarterback that he's attached to is certainly fantastic, and he's proven, with the big season catching the ball yardage wise, he's proven it with a 10 touchdown season, and he was on his way last year to just being an absolute monster.
Yeah.
So, you see the heights. I don't know. I do struggle, honestly, with Williams and Sutton because I'm expecting Sutton to be the DK Metcalf to Russell Wilson for Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
So I really struggle with those two guys, but it's hard to overlook that Williams has already done it, and I like his quarterback better. So they're back to back for me, but I would give Williams the edge.
Williams got a bigger contract than Deontay Johnson, right?
I don't know about per year, deal, right? But 3-year deal for Williams, 2-year deal for Deontay. So,
2-year deal, right? Okay, so we like the wide receivers there in round 5.
And I think like the last thing I would say is like we like Mike Williams. The more important thing to me is that the Chargers, Justin Herbert, that they like Mike Williams, obviously.
Eckler said that with us on HQ.
Yep.
We had Austin Eckler on CBS Sports HQ, and I was asking about both Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, and he was just raving about Mike Williams. Understandably so, it's his teammate, but just so thrilled that they got paid based on what he's done.